Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Well, folks, we got a Nintendo Direct this week, just not the one that everyone wanted. We recap that and talk about, is there a chance there's another Direct this month? Welcome on into the Mario Matter, folks. I am your host, Nintendo Switch 2 YouTuber EmSwizzle. It's episode 178. It's a good time to be alive. It's Super Bowl weekend as of recording the podcast. It's a good time. Spend some time with your folks. There's a lot going on in the world of Nintendo news, especially this week. I don't know what it is. There's tons of rumors, tons of news, tons of random bits of news. Like, we gotta recap it all. So on this show, we're gonna start by going over Nintendo news, then dive into our main segment, which is there another Direct in February? There's some rumors, man. Let's talk. After that, Q&A segment. Timestamps down below if you do want to skip anywhere. But with that said, let's dive in to our first piece of Nintendo news, not to keep you waiting at all. Let's dive in. I wanted to start this podcast by quickly recapping the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase that we got this week. So, last podcast episode with Russ Vandy, our guest, we talked about how there were big rumors for a Direct this week, which is a cool Nintendo game presentation for my casual listeners out there. And it happened. It happened. So Nate the Hate was right about this rumor that there's a Direct this week. It was a partner showcase, which means it's a Nintendo presentation, but there's no Nintendo games in it. It's just third-party games by other companies. So, Max, did you watch the Direct? Did you watch it? What did you think? What's your favorite game announcements? What's your overall feeling on it? Let's talk. So, I usually stream almost every single Nintendo presentation aside from Indie Worlds and Nintendo Direct partner showcases. I will sometimes stream a partner showcase when I have a feeling that there's something good in there, or like something's probably coming, right? Did not stream this partner showcase, and thank God for it. It was not good. It was not good. You might ask, like, why not just stream it anyway if you're gonna watch it? One, I didn't watch it live. I was working on some other stuff. And two, I don't want to stream if I cannot get excited for a Direct beforehand. Couldn't do that with this one. There's some good games in here, but overall, Direct is garbage. I'm sorry, like, overall, it's bad. So I won't go over every single game, but I'll walk you through the 3 to 4, I think actually 5, highlights that I had from this Direct. So, number 1, Orbitals, the game that was shown off at the start of the Direct and also at the Game Awards last year. I think this is looking to be a high-quality, fun co-op game. I love the art style. That looks good to me. The only other highlights here was the Hollow Knight Switch 2 edition. I'll take it. I don't play Hollow Knight that much, but it's good news for a game that I might get into one day. I'm like half excited about this. Disney Dreamlight Valley Switch 2 edition. I'll take it. That's like fun. It's not an Animal Crossing-like game necessarily, but it's like, I love Animal Crossing, and Disney Dreamlight Valley is like kind of Disney's take on a cozy game, so I like that. I'll take it. Goat Simulator 3. So it's just my life simulator because I am the GOAT. Okay, so I'm kidding. All right, I'm sorry. And then after that, Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. That's basically all the good I can say about with this Direct. I don't like a lot of it. Usually, with a partner showcase, I come away with like, if I can walk away with like 3 to 5 games that I will buy, like not are into, but like will buy, that's good. That's great. And I hit that mark. I think it might have been the last partner showcase. I definitely hit that mark recently with the partner showcase, like either the last one or the one before the last one. I have 4 to 5 things that I like from this Direct, but I don't know for sure if I will buy the Hollow Knight. Wait, is it free? The Switch 2 edition. I don't know if I'll buy Goat Simulator 3. These are just games that, like, I might buy because I am into them. I might buy it, but I also might not. These are just things that I'm interested in. So, I don't fully know what's a buy and what is not from this Direct. All I can say is, although this could be someone's favorite Direct of all time, it was certainly not for me, and I'm seeing a lot of negativity online, so I actually can infer here that it's not just me that doesn't like this Direct. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll talk about it later in terms of if there's another Direct coming this month or even next month that gives us more from Nintendo. But yeah, that's our main talking point for today, so stay tuned for that. Or you can skip there now. Timestamps in the description. That is going to be up to you. But anyways, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we have a lot of just random Nintendo news and some funny stuff, so stay tuned. Let's keep diving into our Nintendo news from this past week. Our next piece of news is one that we all saw coming. We just didn't know exactly when. We have it now. The Nintendo Switch. This feels like a moment in history of, like, for this podcast that I should be making a bigger deal of. I don't know. We all saw it coming. The Nintendo Switch is now the best-selling Nintendo console of all time. With 155.37 million units, it beats out the Nintendo DS, which had 154 million units sold. Now, I think, although, very impressive, kudos to Nintendo, that they don't need me to tell them congratulations. They don't need that from me. But I think that they're pretty hesitant to come out and say it's the best-selling console of all time, because although it's most definitely going to pass the PlayStation 2, do you guys remember when... I think it was when, like, the Switch was getting somewhat close to passing the PS2, so, like, within the past 2 years. I think some PlayStation higher-up guy came out and said, actually, the PS2 sold this many units. Like, they're trying to give themselves some extra space to, like, not be overtaken as the best-selling console of all time. PlayStation's crapping their pants. Switch is the best-selling Nintendo console of all time, will eventually be crowned as the best-selling console of all time. Little news fact there. I don't have an opinion on this. I knew it was coming, so just news. Just news for the audience here. That's all it is. That's all right? Next up, let's talk about this. If you are listening to this podcast, Saturday, February, what's today? I'm not even sure. The 6th. If you're listening to this podcast on the 7th or the 8th of February, you have not missed this yet. Apparently, during the Super Bowl, the big football game, there's going to be a Mario Galaxy movie ad/commercial that is going to play during it. That's cool. So be on the lookout if you are watching the big game. I don't know if it'll have any new scenes or shots from the movie. It might. So if you are gonna watch the Super Bowl, which I don't know who's not, you might want to keep your eyes peeled for this one. I know that I will. So that's really all I got here. These are two quick pieces of news, these last two ones, that I don't have much of an opinion on, but are facts that the viewers should know. So I'm telling you right now. Comment down below your predictions on who's going to win the Super Bowl, because honestly, although I watched football all season, I don't really know myself. You know what? Let's make an official EmSwizzle prediction, and then we can all come back here and be like, he was right, No, I'm kidding. I'm probably going to be wrong. So, Patriots, Seahawks. I don't know. So, like, I think that the Seahawks are... If I had to bet my life, I bet Seahawks. But the thing is, like, something tells me Patriots. So I'm going to roll with the Patriots. But I don't want them to win because, excuse me, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we have the same amount of Super Bowls as the Patriots. I'm not trying to act like I was alive for most of those. I was not. But like, as a fan of the organization, you don't want the Patriots to win because then they become the most, they have the most Super Bowls in NFL history. So I should be a Seahawks fan this weekend. But I don't know. I like Drake May. I think he's a cool guy, and his story's cool. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's roll with the Patriots because why not? But Patriots fan or Seahawks fans, don't come clown on me after this weekend if I'm wrong. I'm just like, I love Drake May. I'm kidding. I don't. I'm a Steeler. So let's just stop talking. Okay. Anywho, next rumor. We have a rumor, guys. I don't know if this is true, but if it is, big news for the employed. YouTube is rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 this month, February 2026. Oh boy, who would have seen this coming? So we have YouTube on the Nintendo Switch 1. If you are a Switch 1 user, you most definitely have YouTube downloaded on your Switch. This is a given, right? When the Switch 2 came out, we all found out you couldn't use YouTube on the Switch 2. Switch 2 came out in June. What am I saying? In June. It is now February. If I can do my quick math, that is 8 months since the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. 8 months to develop YouTube on this console, and it is supposedly coming out this month in February. Where does the info come from? Well, the outlet that reported it is Koei Tech Wattenberg Media. Never heard of that in my entire life. Are they credible? I don't know, but their source, where they got their info from, was from a moderator for the official YouTube Discord server. And you would think those moderators know something. They can't just make this stuff up. So, sounds legit to me. I don't know how much longer YouTube needs to make YouTube on the Switch 2. I don't know if they've been working tirelessly and it's some complex thing to do. I don't make software. I don't know. 8 months seems like a reasonable, length of time to bring your app to the console. I don't know. Wouldn't be shocked if it comes out this month. Wouldn't be shocked if, because Nintendo is so lacking in the year 2026, they put this in like the next general Nintendo Direct. Wouldn't be shocked. YouTube, would not be shocked. Anywho, that could be coming this month. Do stay tuned. We will see. I will update you on that if it does in fact arrive on the Switch 2. Cool beans. Let's dive in, guys. This next piece of news is actually so laughable. I worry about how I'm gonna be able to get this out. I don't know if I can get it out without laughing. Okay. So the next game that is releasing under the Nintendo umbrella, so like Pokemon, Nintendo, that sort of thing. Pokemon Pokopia. What am I saying? Apart from Mario Tennis Fever next week, Pokemon Pokopia is the next Nintendo Pokemon game that is releasing on the Switch 2 and I believe Switch 1, right? Oh man, rusty on the facts over here. Anywho, Pokemon Pokopia is releasing. It's a fun, cozy type of Pokemon game. All the cozy gamers are getting into this one. I personally will be playing this one. I like it. So, how do companies promote pre-ordering upcoming games? Well, they usually give you a pre-order bonus. You see Sega do it a lot. You see Nintendo do it sometimes when they have a big game like next 3D Mario. Oh, if you pre-order, you'll get a Mario Cup, something like that. And so we got a pre-order bonus revealed for Pokemon Pokopia from Amazon. Do you all want to know what it is? I remember when I bought Splatoon 1 for the Wii U, they gave me a water gun. If you bought Donkey Kong Country Returns HD for the Switch from GameStop, you would get a Donkey Kong barrel like pencil holder cup. All this cool stuff. However, if you pre-order Pokemon Pokopia from Amazon, You don't get any of that. You get an in-game plant decoration. Oh my god! What are they doing? Can you give me like a freaking scarf or something? You're giving me an in-game plant? How is that a pre-order bonus? Oh, and by the way, can I say this? The plant is not exclusive to the pre-order bonus. You can get the plant if you buy the game and just play the game. They're just giving it to you for fun. This is the worst. Oh my god. I just apologize to whoever has to go to the Nintendo eShop and type in is it a 16-digit code? 12-digit to redeem an in-game plant. I feel sorry for the person that has to do that orders this from Amazon, who ordered the game from Amazon before this was even announced, has to open up their package and redeem an in-game plant. I'm so sorry. I think this has to go down, as the worst ever pre-order bonus. Sorry, I'm like high-pitched sounding because my allergies. Excuse me. This is awful. This is really, really bad. I will not be pre-ordering from Amazon. I can't do it. I cannot take an in-game plant from you. I will get it on my own in the game. Appreciate it though. Or sorry that happened. Anyway, let's move on to our next piece of news because this is actually positive news for any Nintendo Switch Online user. Let me get a little sip of water here before I dive in, if I can. All right. Ooh, sorry. I may have to take a little break real quick. My allergies are going. I can't even talk. Our only other piece of news to go through. Very quick. Very simple. Balloon Kid and Yoshi for the Game Boy are now available on the Nintendo Classics Game Boy service. You can now play these two games on the Game Boy service on Switch Online. Very cool. I'm not going to go play either one. Just wanted to bring you that news. What I'm most excited to talk about today is there is some spark, my friends, some flames of a potential general February Nintendo Direct coming up. There's some rumors, there's some speculation. I want to talk about all that speculation, and also, do I believe we will get that Direct? Let's dive into it right now. Oh buddy, when you all saw that Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase announcement, I bet you were all like me. You took your hand and you shoved it into your face. You hit the old face palm emote. I did too, believe me. Are we going to get the traditional Nintendo Direct in February? As many of you know, if you've followed Nintendo even a little bit over the past 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I said 6, 7, golly. Okay, oh boy. If you've been following, there's usually always a Nintendo Direct in February. Now, the last couple years, that's been a little bit dicey. It hasn't always happened that way. But it just has gone on for so long. Like, 2018 we got one, 2019 we got, 2020, did we get one? I think so. 2021 we definitely got one. 2022 we got one. 2023, like we always would get February general Nintendo Directs. Last little bit, it's been a little dicey. But will we get one this year after we just got a Partner Showcase Direct? Not what they usually do. Let's talk. So, I want to bring this up, and this rumor here for the Direct comes from Mike Odyssey. And apparently, there is a trademark being filed for Splatoon Raiders, as Nintendo should. And this trademark for Splatoon Raiders goes live, has a publication date of February 17th, 2026, a Tuesday. And I'm not saying that Mike is claiming this. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, does that mean there's a February Direct happening right around then? So we're here to discuss that, my thoughts. Do we think it'll happen? So let's dive in. Let's freaking dive in. February Directs, from this pattern I can tell. And you know what? Let's pull it up right now live so we can get it from two different angles, okay? So I'm going to search up all Nintendo Directs, okay, on my phone. And there should be, here we go, a playlist of them all. Let's see when Nintendo holds their February Direct. So last year, we did not get a February Direct. The year before that, we got a partner showcase in February. So no general February Direct for the past 2 years. That's good to note. 2023, we got one on February 8th. 2022, we got one on the 9th. 2021, we got one on the 17th. Same date as this, Splatoon Raiders trademark thing. In 2020, we did not get one. We got an Animal Crossing Direct, so there's, a gap there. 2019, we got one in February. 2018, we did not. 2017, we also... So was my memory foggy? Because I was just saying how we would always get one. All right, moral of the story is, it appears, based on the pattern of February Directs, Nintendo seems to do one every year, likes to do one every year, but won't force it if they have nothing. Now, I want to go back to that one time in 2021. What you'll notice with all of the February Directs in the past, right? They've always been February 8th, February 9th, very early on in the month. When they did one on February 17th, I'm looking, there was nothing, there was no partner showcase in early February. There was nothing taking up the early section of February when they did one later in February. So I guess what I'm saying is this is all just random. All the timing's random. It doesn't even seem like Nintendo has this thing in their mind where they always got to do a Direct in February. It seems like they like to do it, but it's whenever they feel like doing it, So because of that, it's going to make this impossible to predict. I will say, in terms of this Splatoon Raiders trademark publication thing, does it have to do with a February Direct? I'm going to say no. Because I feel like we see a lot of these things. We see a lot of, oh my gosh, Nintendo just renewed this new Kirby trademark. And it's some old Kirby game. Epic Yarn, for example. I think might have been one of them, right? I feel like trademarks never really lead to anything. I see tons of tweets like, Nintendo just renewed this trademark, and it leads to nothing. It's like they renewed the Wii Sports trademark. There's no new Wii Sports. So I feel like all this trademark stuff, it just goes nowhere. And maybe someone can show me an example of where it did go somewhere, but it never, it just never happens. Nothing really comes from trademark stuff. Now, it's different if this game, there's ways that games can leak. If Splatoon Raiders or whatever game got rated by the ESRB, which is the company who says E for everyone, that company, that's different. Those are usually real leaks. But with the trademark stuff, it's just dicey. So I don't know about that. However, what I can say, Nintendo has a pretty great pattern of attending a gaming convention called PAX. PAX East, PAX West. This convention, you've probably heard of it, okay? PAX East is late next month, March 26th, 2026. Nintendo's got a great attendance record. They did not attend PAX East last year. I feel like they were probably just prepping for Switch 2, which is why they didn't. But they were there the year before, so on. They were at PAX West, though, in September. They like the PAX people. I think Nintendo will probably be at PAX East this year, because why wouldn't they be? They are not prepping Switch 2. They gotta sell software. They gotta get all the news people, all the press outlets, gotta get everyone their game previews. Like, you gotta bring something to kind of kick off the year, you know? Because right now, all we know is Mario Tennis Fever, Pokopia, and Tomodachi Life. And Yoshi. And the Mysterious Book. We need more info on a lot of upcoming stuff. I think Nintendo, if they're smart, within the next month or two, should announce their games coming out this summer. Like, there's got to be a big June or July Switch game that we don't know about yet. It's not Tomodachi Life and it's not Yoshi. Well, I could be. No, it's not Yoshi because Yoshi's set for spring. So, what I'm saying is you have to announce something soon. And a lot of times, things that get announced become playable at that PAX East convention. Point is, if you're Nintendo and you're smart, you announce something in the next month. You bring that game to PAX, you let people demo it, you release it this June or July. That's a typical Nintendo cycle. Now, whether that means we're going to have a full direct where they announce all these new games and a big 3D Mario and all this stuff, or whether that means they'll do like a Twitter direct where they announce, tune in because we're releasing Splatoon Raiders, a game that you already know about. We're gonna release it in June, and it'll be at PAX East. Like, whether they do a whole direct announcing new stuff, or they just announce like a game or two on Twitter that is coming out this summer. Whichever way they want to do it is how they're gonna do it. But back to direct talk. It just seems so odd to me. Because in 2024, when Nintendo really broke the streak of doing no February Directs, it was different because on Mario Day, March 10th, which is upcoming, Nintendo did what I just talked about. So I was talking about, 1 minute ago, how they could either announce new summer Switch games in a direct or on Twitter. In 2024, they chose the Twitter route for that. So, if you'll recall, there was no February Direct in 2024, but they came out a little bit later on March 10th and announced, hey, here's the release date for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Those came out in May and June. I guess still technically spring, but easing into the whole summer way of doing things. Then they announced Nintendo World Championships NES Edition on Twitter. Random. Where did this come from? So, it really puts things in limbo. Like, are we going to get that Twitter Direct this year, 2026? Or will we get a general Direct? And then, if you look at last year, 2025, there was also no February Direct. Mainly because all of Nintendo, all of their attention, all of their time was focused on Switch 2 and Switch 2 only. And we had that Direct in April. I wouldn't look at last year as an example of what could happen this year because it was just so different. Look at 2024 and 2023. There are only two ways of doing things to announce games for the summer. General Direct or Twitter Direct. And I think this year, to get to my prediction, do I think that we have a better Direct coming this month? Do I think it's coming? I think what's going to happen. So option A is February Direct. Option B is Twitter Direct. I'm going to pick option C. I think my official prediction for all of this Direct speculation, I think there's a random Direct in March. I think everything with Nintendo is just whenever they feel like it. Whenever it's on their time. I think there's a random March 6th Direct or just some random weekday. I think that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer because Nintendo has been doing a lot of Directs recently. Tomodachi Life Direct, Mario Galaxy Direct, Partner Showcase, and then we're probably going to have a Pokemon Presents presentation at the end of the month on the 27th. So that's a lot of presentations in 1 month if they wanted to do a general Direct also, around February 17th or whatever. Kind of a lot happening here. I think if you do the Direct in March, you can... Okay, so here's what we have to know. We have to know the release date for Yoshi, for the Yoshi game, which is why you do the Direct in early March and announce that game to release in late April, early May, probably early May, right? By announcing it in early March, you can still bring that game to PAX East, and you can announce a ton of other games for the summer. Be it another Mario sports game. Probably not. I'm just giving examples. Be it, whatever they have for this summer, you can announce it in March, early March. You still meet the whole timeline without doing too many Directs all in quick succession. I think March just makes the most sense. So we'll see what happens. Because Nintendo's covered for a little while. I mean, back when Nintendo was doing February Directs, do you all remember in 2022 when they did a February Direct, they announced games like Nintendo games that were releasing in late April, like mid-April, late April. For example, Switch Sports came out 2.5 months later after the Direct. We already have March covered with Mario Wonder and Pokopia. We have April being Tomodachi Life. Nintendo doesn't need to give us any announcements for April or March anymore, just May and beyond. So they can wait until March to give us those announcements, which is why I think they'd probably just wait until then. They'd probably wait. What is their obligation to do a Direct in February? Probably nothing. Probably not. There's no obligation. Because they have the next few months covered. Mario Tennis, Pokopia, Mario Wonder, Tomodachi Life. In March, you announced the release date for Rhythm Heaven Groove. You announced the release date for Yoshi. You announced the, what's the other, whatever June and July game you have. All this stuff. You announced your big holiday game. Only if it's a 3D Mario. If you're releasing 3D Mario this year, you tell people months ahead of time, not 4 months ahead of time. So maybe we see that. Who knows what it's going to be. But even Nintendo came out recently in their, shareholders meeting. Yeah, shareholders meeting. They came out recently and said, year 2 and 3 for the Switch 2 are very important. They're not messing around. Nintendo's coming. They're always coming. Just a matter of when. And if you want my final prediction, I think they're not going to do anything else in February. Now, might I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. Nintendo does historically like their February stuff. They like to do it. I just think this year's different. I think you're in a new Switch era. You don't need to do one right now. You just did a partner showcase, plus you have Pokemon Presents at the end of the month. You can wait a little bit longer and give all your spotlight to March. Those are just my thoughts. You all let me know. But to answer the final question of this segment, is there a better Nintendo Direct coming? Yes, but not this month. My prediction and my prediction only. We can always be wrong, so if I am wrong, I apologize. But That's how I feel about all of this stuff. Folks, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But with that said, let's get to your favorite segment of the week, the question block segment, where I answer your questions you asked me. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. You have made it to the question block segment of the Mario Matter podcast. If you are new here, this is the old Q&A segment. You all ask questions for me to answer, and if you want to ask a question, there are a few ways to do so. Number one, on YouTube, if you listen on YouTube or Spotify, you can leave comments down below on whichever platform you are listening to this podcast on. Those are taken in for consideration. I take emails, so mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. That is mariomatterquestions with an S at the end @gmail.com. You can join the Discord server link down below and ask questions in the podcast questions channel. Many different ways. Whatever works best for you works best for you. But let's begin. We have a question from CJ. And guys, if you don't remember, CJ is a legendary listener of the podcast. I mean, most of you are. All of you are, right? But CJ, if you all will remember, last year would write in emails saving up money for a Switch 2. CJ now has his Switch 2, and he writes to us saying, "Hey Max, I was wondering, since the Winter Olympics are right around the corner, what is your favorite Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games game, and what is your favorite event? And I also finally got Donkey Kong Bonanza." Thanks, CJ. Let's freaking go, CJ. How are you liking Bonanza? Please comment down below on whatever platform you have us on. Let us know how Bonanza is spoiler free. Let us know. But to answer your question, great question. I love anything Olympic themed, and I love, you know, when the Olympics come up, I love to go and replay Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. So I get in this trap. I get in this unfortunate trap where when someone asks me what my favorite game of a series is, it's always like the one that I played when I was 8 or 9 years old. It always is. So let's go through each Mario and Sonic game. So we have the first one, the Beijing one. And by the way, they released a bunch of the Olympic games on Wii and DS. I'm going strictly off the Wii versions because those are the highest quality ones. So they released the first one, Mario and Sonic at the Beijing Olympics. Okay. That one was solid. They were still trying to, you know, find their footing in terms of like how this series was going to work. However, I love the music and the whole vibe of that Beijing, that first game, 2008. So that's a good one. The next one would have been the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics Mario and Sonic game. Solid. The next game after that would have been the 2012 London Olympics for Mario and Sonic. That one was good. That made a lot of improvements in terms of events, you know, compared to the Beijing one. I got that game. Oh my gosh, good memories. I got that game at GameStop after a haircut when I was like 5 years old. Core memories, dude. That was a great time. I still have it. It's actually right over there. It came in that little, you know, yellow box. It was so cool. So love that game. Then we had the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics, and I'll go ahead and say this. That is the best Mario and Sonic Winter Olympics experience. It beats the Vancouver 2010 one. Why? Because it was so vastly improved because it was on the Wii U. Since, you know, before that, all of the Mario and Sonic games were stuck on the Wii. London, Vancouver, and Beijing. This one, the way that it used the gamepad all creatively, you could like take pictures of yourself and get yourself on a leaderboard. The snowboarding events where like you tilt the gamepad, that was all really cool. Snowball fight, dream event, like it was crazy. So that game was really good. After that, we had the Rio 2016, also a great one. And then we had the very boring, uninspired port of Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. If you want to know how boring, and I caught smoke for this. I said this in a YouTube short, and I was told that I was wrong and stupid. Look at the cover art for Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Look at the cover art. I could have made that in 3 minutes in Photoshop. There is no effort in there. There is not an ounce of effort to be spotted. That is a terrible cover art. It is so bad. It is disgustingly awful. It gets the job done, but look at that cover art and look at all the previous Mario and Sonic Olympic Games cover arts. It is the most uninspired, just so phoned in cover art of all time. People were hating on me for that. That's crazy. This cover art's terrible. It's so bad. So, sorry, CJ. I love this question. I'm going on forever, but to answer your question, the one you play when you're 8 or 9 years old is solid, and that's going to be Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. And that's crazy. I might catch smoke because a lot of people don't like that one. Are you insane? What is there not to like about Mario and Sonic at the Rio? People will tell you that they don't like it because they've never ever played it. Come on. It's basically the Switch Mario and Sonic, the Tokyo one, but on the Wii U with a little bit of a light story mode. What I like about this one is it actually felt like you are in where the Olympics are taking place. Like, I felt like I was in Rio. Like, you're walking around on this beach. There's like the Rio mascot character, I forget what his name is, like walking around. It's more immersive. You actually feel like you're in Rio, you know? Also, they added soccer. I don't know where else you would get that at that time in 2016. Come on. That game was fire. And don't get me started on the soundtrack. Like, bro, it gives me chills every single time. So that's my favorite Mario and Sonic Olympic Games game. Sochi 2014 is my favorite winter one. Beats Vancouver, of course. So yeah, those are my two favorites, both on the Wii U. The Switch one plays fine, is high quality, is good. It just felt uninspired. I just didn't like it. It just didn't feel right. Soundtrack wasn't there. Not good. I didn't love it. Anywho, missed that series, man. I do. They should have made a new one a couple years ago, 2 years ago. It sucks, dude. I was so looking forward to see if they would do a Paris 2024 version, and they didn't. They also didn't do it. They didn't do a 2022 or 2018 Winter Olympics. Sucks, dude. Sucks. Why didn't y'all buy the game? Maybe if every listener who listens to the podcast bought the game, they'd still be in business. I'm kidding. Probably not. I missed those games. I actually, fun fact, own all of them. I own every single DS and 3DS and Wii and Wii U and Switch Mario and Sonic Olympic Games game. I'm a full collector. Sorry to flex. All right, next question. Thank you, CJ. Liam asks, hey, Max, how/why did you start the Mario Matter? And when you make your episodes, how do you know what to talk about? Even if Nintendo doesn't post anything. Love the content. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Liam. So how and why did I start the Mario Matter? I started it because back in 2022, like around March, April, May, June time, I was still doing YouTube. I was an Animal Crossing focused YouTuber. I had about almost 3,000 subscribers after 2.5 years of doing YouTube. And I just felt, I was uploading daily long form content. It wasn't like the craziest, highest quality, but it was the best I could do daily. And I just kind of got burnt out around like February time. And I was like, all right, maybe I should step away from this YouTube thing. But I wanted a way to like keep my channel alive. So over the course of like March, April, May, I came up with the idea for the Mario Matter, a weekly Nintendo news show. It was just once a week, 1 hour of my time. So it wasn't a big commitment, but it was a way for me to keep my channel at least partially alive. Like, it has a heartbeat. you know? And I always loved to do it. I felt like I got better every time, not just at podcasting, but at like on-camera presence every single time that I would do it. So I never stopped doing it. There's episodes of me in mid 2022 before I lost some weight. You can go back and watch those. They're not on this channel. They're on my EmSwizzle channel. Like if you scroll up a little bit, they're all there. So it was a way to keep the channel alive. Nintendo news show. It's mostly like the same format that I have now. News, one big topic, Q&A, you know? So that stayed mostly the same way. And so that kept going all into 2023. 2024, didn't miss one episode. I missed like one last year because I was sick or something. I don't plan to miss any this year. So yeah, it's just been a thing that I love to do. And like, I don't know, I'm not sure if you all think I like make millions off this show. I don't make much off this show. It's like a passion project. I love to just do it. It doesn't feel like work. I love to do it. So, yeah, it's just been a constant in my YouTube channel since I began it. And, yeah, that's kind of why I started. And then how do you always know what to talk about, even if Nintendo has no news? So usually there's always some news, even if it's like one or two pieces. There's always a rumor, or there's a something, or there's always some sort of news. There's never really been a time that we had to fully skip the news segment. There's usually one or two pieces, so that's never a problem. Sorry, that's never a problem. But the main topic of the show, what we'll title it, that is sometimes a problem. Sometimes, if there's no news, we have to kind of look around and be like, all right, what is a topic that needs talking about right now? Like, what would benefit the listeners? Like, what is a topic that has gone unaddressed by Nintendo, by me? A great example of that would have been when Royal Pear and I talked about when's the next Smash Bros. Coming out? Because obviously, Nintendo's not telling us that. Let's talk about it. This is a conversation that has to happen. We got to talk. So I look for things like that on times that we don't have any news. And I'll go ahead and like pull up the Mario Matter podcast on my phone here. Like, what are some other topics that we've done where we didn't have much news to go through? Here we go. Nintendo's biggest mistakes in 2025. If I can talk, please, thank you. What we still hate about Nintendo Switch 2. That was with Isaac OS. When Zach Scott and I did our Nintendo Switch 2 wish list, stuff like that. You know, we kind of just make topics out of thin air that people want to listen to, or you know, that we think people want to listen to. And have fun. It's all topical. Like, I would never do an episode where it's like, oh, my 10 favorite NES games. Like, it's still topical. It's still current. But, yeah, it's like some evergreen topics in that sense. So, news, there's always news. Topics we make up if there is no, like, big news topic. And then for Q&A, there's too many questions to answer them all, so we're always covered for Q&A. But yeah, that's kind of how we structure the show. Thank you, Liam. Ollie asks, Dear Max, the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct was great, but I am a little worried that there was no mention of the music hall. Do you think it'll still be in the game, maybe in a second direct? Good question, Ollie. So I have full faith that we'll still have the concert hall in Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Couple reasons. Number one, it was just such a loved feature in Tomodachi Life on 3DS. It would just be dumb not to bring it back. Like, it would just be weird. They've brought back everything so far. The news show, all of the shops, they have new shops. So to not bring back something as fun and as wacky and as cool as the concert hall would just be not a smart move, to be honest. The only way I could see it not being in the game is, I'm not going to talk about what it was. If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. I saw a video recently of the Tomodachi Life concert hall where they like made their own song. I won't tell you what song it was. If you saw it, you saw it, okay? The only way Nintendo removes the concert hall is if they feel like the user has too much control. Like, I saw Mii's performing a song in the concert hall they should not know the lyrics to, type of thing. So unless they feel like it's gonna look bad if some of those songs people make appear online, it'll be in the game, unless they feel that way. So, I have faith. My second reason why I believe it'll be in the game is because, although we didn't see it in the Direct, I think there's going to be so much stuff that we explore in the game that they won't tell us about. They only want to tell us about, like that Direct was more so, here's what Tomodachi Life is, because a lot of people don't know what Tomodachi is, so it was kind of like, hey, here's all the info on the game. Here's how it works. Here's how you make Mii's. Here are the shops you can decorate. All of the features that sell the game. Some other features like concert hall, the water fountain where you steal people's money, basically. That's all to be explored later on. There was so many locations in Tomodachi Life 3DS. I think there's going to be a lot that we don't know about in the Switch Tomodachi Life, living the dream. So to answer your question, I think we will have a concert hall, just not, they won't tell us about it. They won't tell us. We'll see. Philip asks, hey Max, my question is, if you could have one Pokemon in real life, which one would you pick? Thank you for your time. Love your podcast. Thank you, Philip. Ooh, I mean, my favorite Pokemon, based purely on looks and how I imagine his personality to be, is Stantler. I know, kind of a weird one. I would like to have Stantler. I would love to have a Stantler. Just like bro, if I could rehire my video editing team, I'd hire Stantler. He just seems like a chill guy. I have a picture of him on my EmSwizzle artwork canvas thing in my studio. I have a picture. I can see him right now. He just looks like a chill guy. He looks like a chill, fun guy. I just like him. I don't know why that rhymes. I just like Stantler. I guess maybe this question is more so geared like, which would you like to have as a pet? In that case, I go basic Eevee or something, But I think Stantler would be nice as a companion. So I go Stantler or Eevee. Finally, NS Master asks, hey Max, and guest if any. To answer that, to answer the part of your question that is not even your question, we should have a guest either next week, or if not next week, 1,000,000,000%, I already have one scheduled for the week after next. So after Mario Tennis Fever. And then we have one after that, and then we have one after that, and after that, we have guests booked. So trust. Absolutely love your podcast, and I have a question for you. What do you like and not like about being a Nintendo YouTuber, and what do you think it takes to run a channel? Let's say if I wanted to try it out. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you. So first part, what do you like and not like about being a Nintendo YouTuber? Well, I like mostly all of it. I like it all. I have a pretty undying passion for Nintendo. I've always loved Nintendo, so to be able to make videos and talk about Nintendo is very fun. I love that aspect of it. The only, basically I love all of it. The only parts that I don't like are the parts I don't do. I made it a priority when I started to get a little more subscribers on YouTube. I will never, or mostly never, do any content that I don't feel like doing. And you might ask, what is that? The best example I can give is news videos. if I was like, for whatever reason, obligated to make Nintendo news videos, like I obviously do this podcast and it's Nintendo news, but what I mean by news videos is like half hour after Nintendo news breaks, rush out a video talking about it all. There's guys who are very good at that. Nintendo Land, Nintendo Prime, Sunbro Nation, Andres Restart, Mike Odyssey. There's guys who are very, very good at that stuff. And I'm sure they love it. I'm sure they enjoy it because they are so good at it. I can't do that. I never want to do that. And I have done it before. I did it, as recently as a few months ago. I made like an instant recap video after the September Nintendo Direct. I did it because it's sometimes good to do if it's that big of news. Like if it's a big direct. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll come out of retirement to make a rushed out news video, right? I never really want to do that. Like the only times I've done it are for directs and like the Switch 2 reveal. Those are like the only times that you have to be rushing on your game, like that sort of thing. I hate that. Obviously, I do this Nintendo news themed podcast. I'm not afraid of Nintendo news. I like this because I can recap it all on Friday. We always record the show on Thursday or Friday, so I can just sit in this chair, talk to whoever guest, and recap it all. I don't have to be first. I don't have to be half an hour after the news comes out, because all of you know, Saturday morning, 10 a.m., you will get my takes on all the news over the past week. All of it. I don't have to do 9 different videos. You'll get it all from me. Saturday, 10 a.m. is when you get EmSwizzle's takes on everything. That's what I love. I don't want to be the guy. And me saying, oh my gosh, I don't want to do the thing where I get a video out within half an hour. That's not, it sounds like I'm taking shots at all those guys who do that. I'm not. I have so much respect for them all because I can't do it. That's like the biggest thing I don't like to do. That's what I don't like. And so guess what? I don't do it. I don't do it because I don't like to do it. I don't like to do that. I don't like to stream unless it's for a direct. I don't like to stream gameplay because when I play video games in my life, that's like my downtime. That's like my time that I get to like, saying be with myself sounds kind of cringy, but like I get to relax after, not that I do intense crazy work, but like after a work day, we filmed a 4-hour recording session for a long form, 3 skits, like whatever. I can breathe. Let's play Pikmin or whatever, right? Like that's my downtime. So to take my downtime and make a streamed version out of it, I don't want to do that, right? So yeah, I would say I don't like to stream unless it's for a direct. I like to stream directs. I love streaming directs because we can all react to this exciting stuff together. My reaction is on camera. That's cool. I just don't like to stream games too often. So, excuse me. Yeah, that's what I like and don't like. And what I don't like, I don't do. And what do you think it takes to run a channel? I think it just takes a very strong... Would you kill me if I said a very strong work ethic? I mean, you kind of have to, like, nobody, rarely anybody, makes 10 videos that are their best work and gets big on YouTube. It, like, almost never happens. There's some freak cases, but most of the time, it never happens. You kind of, and I said this exact same advice on the Royal Pear episode, so if you heard that, I'm sorry. I'll say it again. You kind of have to be able to like eat crap for a long time before you expect to get any results. And once again, who am I to say that? Because I only had to eat crap for like 2.5 years, so it wasn't like 5 years. But just be prepared to go into your YouTube journey not blowing up for a long time, but you don't mind that because you're doing it because you love it. I think that's a big part of it. And then the other big part is you always have to be improving. It doesn't matter how slow. If you're, I mean, ideally, ideally as fast as possible, but like, you always got to be growing. I'm always looking at our content and figuring like, how can we make it better? Can we introduce a new camera angle to our long form videos? Can we, whatever, right? Editing stuff, pacing, all this stuff. You always want to look to get better. And I know it's very generic advice. It's not some unique advice that is changing the world, but that's how I got here. That's how I did my thing. So although it's pretty generic, it's true stuff. The amount of times I woke up at like 4:45 a.m. and just cranked out YouTube shorts, like, you got to have some work ethic. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying, like, all of 2021, I would post a long form video every single day, 8 to 15 minutes long. The best editing that I could do back then. I got up every single day and did that. All of 2021, 4, 5, 6, 7 hour streams, multiple times a week. You gotta have, like, you gotta love it and you gotta do it every day. My family used to think I was insane. And they might listen to this and be like, no, we didn't. I remember conversations, bro. They used to think I was insane for streaming 4 hours. They're like, you can just do 2 hours. Yeah, maybe. But I just wanted it kind of bad, Or like, they didn't like how I was at the start of 2022 uploading long form videos twice a day, daily. They didn't like that. I wanted this bad enough, and I found a way to make it work. YouTube Shorts. So I think you just need a very undying love for the game, is essentially what I'm saying. If any of you want it, I encourage you to try. Because I think there's a lot, and people won't tell you this because they don't want competition. I think there's a lot of room for more Nintendo YouTubers. People won't tell you that, though. They won't tell you that because they don't want competition. I'm saying it to you right now. I think there's a lot of room. I think, am I going to try and beat you? Yeah. But there's a lot of room, so up to you. Sorry, that sounded kind of mean there, but I don't play. So, anywho, gotta have that competitive edge. Gotta have that work ethic. That's all it is. So get out there, make some videos, do your best, have fun. Have fun is the best part, or else, you will have wasted or feel like you wasted some time. So learn some skills, have fun, make videos, do your best. With that said, folks, that is it for the Mario Matter episode 178. I appreciate you all watching. I thank you for subscribing, liking, rating the podcast, whatever support you give on whichever platform you're on. I appreciate it tons. We'll be back next Saturday, solo or not, to talk about Mario Tennis Fever and if it is worth your $70 on the Nintendo Switch 2. In the meantime, look forward to a bunch of YouTube shorts, skits on my main channel, EmSwizzle. Look forward to a bunch of new content coming out soon in terms of long-form stuff. And also, if you would like to pick up any Mario Matter or EmSwizzle general merch like I'm wearing right now, emswizzle.shop, link down below. With that said, I will see you all in the next episode for even more. Adios.